Okay. Hey, Eric, thank you so much for making time for us Czech pioneers.
Thank you for inviting me in this video. It's a 8:45 in the morning, so we are a little bit
Yes.
still waking up.
Both of us, yes.
Um,
So how would you describe what is the pioneering journey itself?
the pioneer's journey, yeah, that's like a module we use in the Netherlands. It's a process with 5 or 6 different stages. So it's like a journey you're in.
Mhm.
And at the end of the journey, we hope that a new form of church will be there, will take shape. And this module, it's from the UK, so we copied it a little bit. In Europe, a lot of countries, they learn from each other. So it's an honor to share something here. And it was not created just in an office. It was developed by researching the new initiatives that were already happening. So they thought, hey, new things are happening here in the country. Let's see if we can learn from it, and maybe they go through the same stages. And the first stage is listening. And listening, it means that you don't start by organizing stuff for other people. It starts with who are the people and how can we connect with them where they are. And it means listening to 4 directions.
Mhm.
And the first direction is listening to the Bible and prayer, or other ways you listen to God. You can hear something He is saying to you or your team. The second direction is listening to the church. We always try to have a connection to a local church,
Mhm.
because we think it's important to work together, to support each other, pray for each other. The third direction is listening to yourself and your team,
Mhm.
because you are a person with, maybe qualities, competence, vision, and your team has that as well. And the last one is listening to the context. So if you want to do something for young people, but they are not living in your area, maybe you should do it somewhere else, or you should focus on the people who do live in your area.
Mhm.
So that's very important in the beginning, I think. Start with listening.
Okay. What are the other
Yes.
steps?
The second one is loving and serving. So when you've listened and you keep on listening, next step is start with something. How if you know the topics that are part of people's lives. For example, there was a pioneer's place in The Hague. The people said, we don't like the area we live in because there's a lot of trash on the streets.
Mhm.
The fences are not painted. There's not a lot of green, no flowers. I don't like it to live here.
Yeah.
And so they started what they called the Do Church. It was once a month on a Saturday morning. And together, the pioneering team with the people from the neighborhood,
Mhm.
they went into the area and they tried to make the area look better. So they took out the trash, they started to paint the fences, they planted flowers. That's how they loved and served the community. But there are a lot of different ways to do it. It doesn't matter what you do. It has to come out of that listening phase. So the third step is community building.
Mhm.
And now, if you have the Do Church in The
Yeah.
Hague and you do it once, then it's a nice activity and it's very important. You make a difference.
Yeah. How do you build a community out of it? Yeah. That's
Yeah, important is to get to know each other. And if you organize a Do Church every month and the same people are joining, then you get to know each other, and there can be a community.
Mhm.
And if you have like the Do Church in the morning, you go into the area, but you have a lunch afterwards, then you have more time to get to know each other. And that's something you can do to build a community.
Yeah.
And if you get to know people, they will share their story. If they trust you, they can share what's important in their lives, what their topics are. And of course, you can do that as well. And if the Christian faith is important for you, there will be room to share something in by sharing your life. but also in words or in deeds about the Christian gospel. And that's the fourth stage. We call that exploring discipleship. That's the English term. And we use exploring faith because discipleship in the Dutch context, it sounds very evangelical, and sometimes that's not helpful in our church. So we contextualize the module as well to the Dutch context. And if you use it in your context, maybe you'll choose different terms. But it's also about sharing something of the gospel in different ways, but also see if people are interested, how can you help them to become followers of Jesus, disciples, Christians? Choose the words you want.
So if we stay in the story of Den Haag, so how did they do this step there?
What I remember is that they started with home groups. So where they were also discussing Bible stories and so small groups in the same area. But there are a lot of different ways how initiatives do it. Sometimes it's more like retreats, meditation groups, home groups. You could also say sometimes an alpha course. Maybe you know it as well. They have like all kind of different alpha courses. It doesn't really matter what you do. If you want to explore the Christian faith with young people, of course, you do it in a different way than when you do it with very rich, highly educated people in Amsterdam.
Of course. Okay, so we had listening, we had loving and
serving,
at
community building,
then exploring faith or discipleship. And what's the next step?
The next step is church taking shape. So if you have some people who are still interested in the Christian faith and now they are part of a community, how can we be church together? How can we look for a new form of church that fits this group of people? And like 50 years ago, all the churches in the Netherlands, they were the same. It was a big old building with a tower, with a bell, and we used the organ and we sang all kind of psalms and hymns. And now you see that people, they make decisions in life for what they want. So there are 10 different supermarkets. If you don't like this one, you go to the other one. But that's with everything. That's also with faith. Or if they don't like Christian faith, they go to the Muslim faith or they want to become a Buddhist. And also if they want to become a Christian, there are so many flavors how you can be church. And we are looking with these pioneers initiatives for new forms of church that fit the group of people you reach out to. So that fit the area you live in or the age group you reach out to. And that means that the topics you discuss in that church, new form of church, it has to be relevant for the group of people you reach out to, but also not just from a theological perspective and the topics, but also the way you organize church is very important to make it interactive or connected to the issues that are going on in the world. Some churches, they focus on topics like environment and green topics. If you have a new church for young families and you want to be that the children are a serious part of the church, then you have to make room for the children in the services and make it creative and interactive. And so, it doesn't matter how you organize, but it all has to come from that listening phase. You keep on listening and develop, something that fits the group of people you are in touch with. And then we have a sixth stage, that sixth phase, but that's called do it again. So at the end of the journey, you will probably conclude that some people are still not there in your community, in your new form of church. And how can we start listening again and see how a new form of church with those people would look like?
Great. Thank you. So there are the 6 phases of pioneering. How long does each phase take?
research showed us that if you want to become a new form of church, it will probably at least take 5 till 10 years. But it also depends on how many connections there already are with people. If you start with nothing, you don't know any people in your area, then it will take much longer. And it also depends on the people, do they have like a Christian connection? So some people, they grew up in church, they know a lot of Christian, things of the Christian faith. Then you see sometimes when you look for new forms, they will join again. They will join the community, the new form of church. So yeah, it depends.
Of course, yeah. Well, I have a final question. So is the pioneering place ever like finished? Is it like, does it become a normal church again with the organ and the sounds, and or can there be different kind of churches working along each other and existing?
Yeah, I think we see two things. Sometimes initiatives are very small and they come up. They are there for a few years maybe, and then sometimes it stops or it changes in another new form of church. It's not very institutionalized. It stays small and it's creative, and it changes all the time. But some initiatives there, what we see is that they start a new community and a new form of church, and people start joining and they start growing. And they're looking for a more sustainable way to look into the future. They of course they have the pioneering mindset that will not change, but they have to organize themselves a little bit more. And we have the option to become a new church. We have the church regulations, and then they can become a new church, and then we support that as well. So we help them to become a new church. But it doesn't mean they always have to do the same things as the existing church. Yeah, they can still be a new form of church, in the institutionalized church.
The pioneering journey basically creates a new kind of a form of a church in the end, possibly. But maybe
we use the metaphor of the mosaic of churches. So you mosaic with all the small stones. You could say we have red stones, we have green stones, yellow stones, and together they form a nice picture, and we need it all. We need the existing church, we need new forms of church, we need temporary small initiatives. They pop up and they change. And I think there are a lot of different people, so we need a lot of different ways to share something of the gospel. And to support each other, love each other, pray for each other, and
Thank you so much, Eric, for meeting me this morning and interested in listening in 4 directions and the pioneering journey. Thank you so much for your time, and God bless you.
And God bless you too. And I hope you have a very nice training day, nice meeting with the Czech pioneers.